What a wonderful day.
What a wonderful day.
Welcome. This is Flick Filter. I'm Big Diesel.
I'm the professor.
And we are doing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yep.
So yeah, what we got is basically probably another trilogy to
The Planet of the Apes franchise.
And this is 300 years after
Caesar.
So it goes straight into Caesar's funeral, and you just go 300 years into the future. So nobody really. They've heard about Caesar, but they don't really know. They haven't seen him.
Yeah.
So, and basically we pick up with a guy named Noah, who basically has a clan of falconers. Pretty much, they just raise eagles or falcons, whatever you want to call them. Basically, to do a lot of stuff, more than just like falconry, which is hunting, but other like communication or just different. They're very primitive, kind of, compared to other apes that we might have seen. But yeah, these guys are falconers. We don't know how much of the other apes there are because it only deals with certain ones. But
yeah.
But basically, we get Noah. Basically, he has
two
friends, a mom, a dad. All that.
His dad's the leader of the village.
Yeah, and basically, him and his two friends are trying to get eggs to have their own falcons or eagles. Mm-hmm. And basically, he gives one up basically to one of his friends and says, "Okay, I'll get another one." Mm-hmm. So he gets another one, and basically, they bring it back, and a lot happens pretty much. But then he comes into contact with, I guess, May.
Yeah, the human.
The human character, played by Freya Allan, and ends up breaking his egg. And then, in retrospect, comes in contact with the villain, Proximus's, Caesar's camp. Basically, his warriors or army. Basically, they go to his place and just run a ruckus.
Yeah. And
take his clan. So basically, the most of the movie is all about him trying to find his clan and get them back. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. Essentially, a hero's journey of him going through different tasks and coming in contact with certain people, individuals, and him growing and learning about different things because he was so sheltered, or he was he's naturally gifted and talented, but with him being kind of just within his own clan, his whole clan within pretty much his whole life up until that point. So him just learning about different things and learning about himself and the history of the apes. So it just kind of goes through his personal journey.
And also, what's his name? Raka? Yeah. Another orangutan, which in these series, I think the orangutans are the smart ones.
The wise ones. The
wise ones. And this guy, I don't remember. He knows a lot about Caesar.
About the history.
About the history and stuff like that. So once they come into contact, he kind of fills him in on who Caesar was, and basically, I feel like the enemy soldiers, they will say for Caesar.
Yeah.
But I think they were just talking about Proximus Caesar. That's the way I saw it.
Yeah.
And he basically kind of is, confused about it, I guess. Mm-hmm. But I think Proximus Caesar, who's the bad guy, is basically trying to use Caesar's name to get kind of
further his own agenda for
right.
power and control. Because Caesar that was in the previous trilogy was, for apes, but then he also
was for
humans as well, even though apes were his main priority, but he did have affection for humans because those are the ones who raised him. Whereas Proximus, he actually says he admires humans, but he takes the way that humans have sort of dominated societies over the years, and he takes that part of humanity and uses that for his own benefit.
And what's crazy is Noah doesn't really like humans. Like anytime he sees Freya Allan's character, May,
yeah.
He kind of just has a mad fit, like he's just like mad
discriminatory towards her.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Think she's beneath him.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's a good kind of,
But then he kind of warms up to her a little bit at some point, but then realizes like, oh, she needs him, but also he needed her in some sense.
Yeah, but basically that's the movie. Without giving into too many spoilers.
Yeah.
But what did you think about it? What did you like about it?
I thought it was really good overall. Like, I really liked Noah as a protagonist. I know that a lot of people have compared him to Caesar, or just have been like, how are they going to follow up this new set of films, because Caesar was so beloved as a character, as a leader, as a protagonist. But I think Noah is his own character. He's his own individual. He starts off very, like, he's talented, but also kind of naive in terms of the world around him. So there's definitely a lot of room for growth, even with him being kind of discriminatory towards humans. That shows, like, oh, he's not just this perfect protagonist, even though he is, likable and you do want to root for him. But then there shows areas where he does have to grow as well, even learning how to use the Falcons and certain things that he didn't know before going off on his journey. So I thought that was pretty cool. I liked the performances overall, even though there were certain things that were kind of hard for me to understand, but I thought the CGI looked really good with the apes and
it looks
the
really
actual
good. Yeah.
like performances, their facial expressions were always really really cool. And I thought Proximus Caesar was a good villain, even though he's really not in the first, like, a good portion of the first half of the movie. You hear about him, even though you hear people call him Caesar, but there's people there's so much of the conflict is even just getting meet until you actually meet Proximus face to face. So there's kind of a lot of build up to that. But also liked I like the fact that not everybody was perfect. Like, you have certain characters that you think are a certain way, but then it turns out, oh, they're a little bit more complicated than you might have thought. Though there were, I guess, I don't know, you want to get to your positives?
You basically nailed them all. I think you nailed them all. I think a lot of people, I don't know much about. I've seen the Tim Burton one, of course, and that was not good. But the other three, the past three, Dawn, Rise, War, all of them I loved. War, it was a little more darker. Mm-hmm. I think the second one was probably the best one, and so and the first one was pretty good too. And I really liked Caesar, but they did put him on a high pedestal. like he did no wrong, pretty much.
Yeah.
But and I like the fact that they're doing something different with Noah. It feels like they're putting a lot of groundwork. I don't know what is like. Maybe because I know they may try to connect everything all together.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and I know they might be trying to connect everything together. So I'm wondering what kind of is for the sequels, or what is like connective tissue that they're trying to be so they can connect everything, even the older films together. So I'm wondering how they'll all connect it. But I'm a big fan of the newer films, so I think that they've been doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know if Andy Serkis kind of helped out a little bit, or maybe not. I don't know. But who's the director?
Wes Ball. He's directed a few things prior. I think it was the Maze Runner movies. I think I heard that he did. It might have been the first one, if not maybe the first and second one. But I know he directed at least one of the Maze Runner movies. Those were pretty popular, like in the 2010s. But yeah, what as far as like any things that negatives or things that you thought could have been better, like what did you think?
Like I said, I think as far as story goes, I think this was awesome. I love the story. I love the world. I loved the view. Everything, like all the CGI, everything was good.
Yeah.
I just couldn't hear a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff in the beginning that was kind of like, what happened? Like, it goes so fast.
Yeah.
And it's so dark that basically, I'm like, what just happened? What just? And then it's not just with Noah and his friends or the protagonist characters. It's also Proximus too. Like when you get to meet him, there's certain words that you'll get like little bits of, but you won't get like the whole sentence of what they're saying. I don't know what was happening, but I don't know why that was happening like that. But I don't have many negatives aside from that, but I thought Proximus was cool. I liked all the characters. So yeah. It was kind of, I could see where things were going. I won't say it's all predictable, but you can see how, this happened. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is good. There is no post-credit scene. There's little hints on what's to come. Yeah. But, I think that's it.
Yeah. I guess for me, if I just give any criticism, I will say it kind of felt like it started a little slow. Not that what was happening was bad, but it was taking me a minute to get like, okay, where is the story actually going? Yeah. Especially like with the inciting incident, that it took a good minute for that to happen, because I was like, okay, they're spending a lot of time with the Falcons. They're spending a lot of time with the family, and I'm like,
this is a new trilogy. You gotta kind of put that foundation there. So.
And I think also that was also around the time where I was a little confused. It was a lot of, overall confusion in terms of like, okay, why is this important, or like, why? And also because it was hard for me to hear, going off of what you were saying. So I think because it was kind of slow in the beginning, and even though I know why they were setting up the foundation, but because it was also hard for me to understand what was happening, that's why it may have taken me out of the story, because I wasn't like fully immersed yet.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. And then like kind of like what you were saying, like not being able to understand some of the things that Proximus was saying. Like I was like, I really wish I think I had said during the movie, like I wish I had some subtitles.
Closed captions. Yeah.
Because I'm like, I really think this was an important line, or this was something important that that a certain character said. But yeah, other than that, I don't have too many complaints.
Yeah.
I think like comparing it to the last trilogy, I mean, I definitely liked it. I don't know where I would rank it amongst all the films I've seen so far, but I think it was. I mean, I haven't seen in Los.
I haven't seen those movies in such a long time. But,
Yeah.
It's been. Man, when was War?
I think that was 2017.
Yeah, War was a long time ago. So
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was due to COVID and writer's strike and all kinds of other things of why it didn't come out sooner.
Yeah, because I think they're trying to make a trilogy for this trilogy, and then maybe 3 more after that, like another trilogy.
We'll see.
We'll see how well it does. The box office is always up and down, but I know the Apes franchise has been around for many, many years, like even before Star Wars. The first Apes movie came out in 1968.
Yeah.
And that one's considered a classic, like one of the greatest sci-fi movies. I still haven't seen it, so I need to go back and watch it, but those movies are definitely a different feel from
we might need to check it out.
The current movies. Like they're a lot more I've heard they're a lot more like out there, a little more weird, and just they kind of deal with different genres, but they, from people that like the Apes franchise, they do in general have fond memories of those. So I think I should check them out.
So what do you rank it?
Ooh, I'm probably gonna give it like a 3.5. So I think it's pretty good. What about you?
4.
Okay,
4.
okay, kind of close.
Yeah.
Okay.
4. So, anyways, that is our thoughts and review for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. What did you think about it? Put it in the comments below and let us know. Let us know what other movies that you're looking forward to and what movies you want us to check out. And we'll see you in the next one. God bless.
All right, y'all. Peace.